Among the legends of American muscle, few cars have a reputation as commanding and enduring as the 1969 Chevrolet Camaro Z28. It wasn't just another fast car, it was a statement. The Z28 didn't roar for attention. It snarled with purpose, designed not just to impress on the street, but to dominate the racetrack. Today, it sits at the intersection of nostalgia and raw performance, with collectors and enthusiasts still chasing its legacy more than 50 years later. What makes the 1969 Z28 so iconic? For starters, it was built during what many consider the golden era of American performance cars. This was a time when car makers were battling not just for sales, but for supremacy on the track and the street. Chevrolet, aiming to compete in the SCCA Trans Am series, needed a car that could handle as well as it could hustle. The answer came in the form of RPO Z20 IATA-N option package that turned the Camaro into a legitimate track contender. The heart of the Z28 was its high-revving 302 cubic-inch V8, a unique engine born from GM's desire to conform to Trans Am's 50-liter limit. It wasn't a torque monster like many of its muscle car contemporaries, but it screamed to life when pushed, revving up to 7,000 RPM with ease. This wasn't just an engine that moved metal-stirred souls. Chevrolet combined the 327 block with the 283 crankshaft, creating an engine that loved to rev and made all the right noises doing it. But power wasn't the only priority. The 1969 Z28 came standard with a 4-speed manual Muncie transmission, quick ratio steering, heavy-duty suspension, and front disc brakes hardware that translated into far. Genuine on-track capability. Aesthetically, it carried a more aggressive look than the base Camaro, featuring a cowl induction hood, racing stripes, and 15-inch rally wheels that filled the arches just right. It looked like it belonged in the winner's circle, and often, it did. In an April 1969 issue of Car Life magazine, the editors raved about the Z28 balance of power and poise. They noted that while it wasn't the fastest off the line, the Camaro's chassis and steering made it one of the best handling muscle cars of its time. That kind of praise wasn't handed out lightly. And it still resonates. As many vintage racing enthusiasts and Camaro purists consider the 69 Z28 the pinnacle of first-gen performance. Another reason for its staying power lies in its sheer collectability. Unlike mass-market Camaros of the era, the Z28 was a more focused machine-only. About 20,000 units were produced for 1969. And because they were often driven hard or modified heavily, finding an original numbers-matching Z28 today is a rare and pricey proposition. Some pristine examples now fetch six-figure prices at auctions, especially if they include desirable options like the RS Appearance Package or the ultra-rare cross-ram intake manifold setup. But beyond the stats and sales figures, the 1969 Camaro Z28 embodies a kind of Americana that can't be duplicated. It's a car that came from a time when style, performance, and grit were inseparable. A time before regulations muffled exhaust notes and car design bowed to wind tunnels. The Z28 was loud, raw, and unapologetically built to win. Whether seen cruising down a coastal highway or snarling at a weekend vintage track day, the 1969 Z28 isn't just admired, it's revered. It's not just metal and rubber, it's memory and meaning. It's proof that sometimes a machine can outlive its own era, not just surviving the decades, but defining them.